This is Rich from Lower West Side Studio, and today we're going to have ourselves a bit of a phaser shootout. I've got two phase shifters here. One is the Oakley Deep Equinoxe, and the second is the Music from Outer Space 8-stage phase shifter. Both are excellent additions to your modular rig. Each has a really unique sort of flavor that it adds to the sound that you can create, even though they're both phase shifters. So let's have a quick look. What we're going to do is we are feeding both phasers with a ramp wave coming from a Music from Outer Space VCO. It's going into a multiple and then going into the audio input of each one of the phasers. So we're dealing with the same signal, no filters. And then we're just taking the output of that, of each phaser, and going into an Oakley Classic VCA, because it's basically a two-channel mixer. So I can turn up the first channel, which is the Deep Equinoxe. And the second channel, which is the MFOS 8-stage phase shifter. Okay, so quickly, as you can hear from that brief interlude, each one has a sort of unique sort of sound, and we'll just dive in and take a quick look. The Oakley has a really nice, rich, deep, and more conventional phase shifting sound. Something that you would that you can use. Well, I'm not going to tell you how to use it, but it's more conventional, I think, myself. And we'll turn it up so we can hear. Okay, we've got frequency control, giving us our sweep of our filter range there. Okay, we've got emphasis, which is a sort of resonance control. I'll bring the res down here to get less of that bite. Okay, you've got your modulation depth. And of course your rate. Okay, and the Deep Equinoxe has two modes. Okay, you've got normal, and you hear how she fattens up there. Normal. And then you've got the number of stages that the phaser goes through, 6 or 8. Awesome. I found amazing uses for that, particularly when teamed up with a reverb. A couple of other really nice features that you've got is the Oakley's got the LFO out, so that you can take that LFO wave that you've got coming out, and you can drive something else with it. We're going to do that in just a second. One of the features of the Lower West Side Studio build is we put a switch on the front so you can invert the LFO output between a negative or a positive wave. You'll see that in just a second. But before that, before we get into control voltages, I just want to show you in its native form the Music from Outer Space 8-stage phase shifter. And we'll turn it up here. Okay, bring down some of its features, turn up the volume. So the first thing that you'll notice is you've got an input level. So you can actually really drive the crap out of that input signal. Okay. You've also got a different waveform selector, so you can pick your triangle wave or ramp wave for the oscillator. Okay, let's get that thing oscillating. All right. Now also we've got a selection for whether we want 4 or 8 stage shifting. We'll go to 8 for this one. Hang on. Now, one of my favorite controls that the Music from Outer Space 8-stage phase shifter has, try saying that one fast, feedback. cool. So, as you can see, each phase shifter shifts phases, but each has its very own, very unique own sort of style. So for a second, what we're going to do is we're going to just use a little of the voltage control fun, and we are going to take the LFO out of our Oakley Deep Equinoxe, and we're going to feed it into one of the CVNs of the MFOS. Ooh, we got a nice rhythm going there. Okay, we'll flip that. Okay. Now, also, because we've got two CVNs on the MFOS 8-stage phase shifter, I'm going to take the sine LFO wave out of a synthesizer.com Q106, and we'll feed it into the second CVN. We'll speed up the oscillator. Get it going real fast. That's the second CV input that I've got rocking there. Bring it down again. All right, and because we don't have an LFO output up from the MFOS, we'll just take our control, we'll take our control voltage from the Q106, and we'll feed it into the Deep Equinoxe. So, as you can see, well, it's hard to see, but we're being modulated by the Q106. So even though I've got my LFO right here, and if I check here, I'm not sure, I never did this, I just got the idea. Hang on. Bring up the other output. So, even if it's being clocked externally, the LFO output is controlled by the LFO rate. Cool. So, there you have the Oakley Deep Equinoxe phase shifter and the Music from Outer Space 8-stage phase shifter. I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you very much. I'm Rich. This is Lower West Side Studio.